All right, there we go. We are live.
Hey.
Now, I almost forgot to mute the window. Oh, that was
Oh
close.
no.
No, don't worry. You're not gonna hear an echo. I caught it. I caught it just in time.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's do the tweeting right now. Now, I guess good news, guys. Within about a couple weeks, I get my channel back, and
So
I technically always have my channel back, but I just get the ability to stream it.
so just one more Tuesday of this,
Pretty much, yeah.
and then we're gonna confuse everyone about where we're gonna be.
And on the last show, we'll tell people to go to mine.
Yep.
But yeah. Still, me like I think we had a pretty. I'd say we've had a pretty good run on Dan's channel, though.
We did.
Had a lot of good times. Had some great. Probably had some of our best guests on this channel.
Yep. Maybe the last time we'll have guests. Kidding.
Yeah, of course, I know you're kidding. Although I'm definitely hoping though that we can still get guests on this show, just because honestly that didn't. Because honestly, it made it more interesting when we had people to talk to besides ourselves.
Yeah. But sometimes we're not gonna get them.
True. What can you
So
do?
what yep. So what do you think about the new Ghostbusters?
I'm trying to remember. Isn't Jason Reitman supposed to be good at comedy?
Well, his father's the one I don't think I've ever seen a Jason Reitman movie.
Let me see what he's been in. Maybe they'll jog my memory.
But I think he's going to treat with more respect than Paul Feig.
Well, here's a couple of the movies he directed. Thank You for Smoking and Juno.
Okay, so it's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah, so he can make good movies.
And he says that it's for the fans. So
I mean, I liked Thank You for Smoking. I didn't care for Juno one bit.
too annoying.
I don't know. Actually, it
Too
wasn't even. I actually kind of just found it sort of a dull, kind of dull.
mhm. Especially the whole pop culture reference every 5 seconds.
Oh god, and it's like, yeah.
This isn't gonna age well.
Honestly, when Juno came out, everyone loved it. I don't get it.
It's weird because it's a movie about
A teenage girl getting pregnant.
and then deciding against abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Instead choosing adoption. So a Hollywood movie doing that and becoming popular, that's not doesn't even seem popular. Right? Doesn't even seem like it could happen at any time.
I guess so. It's just like watching. I just felt kind of. I just remember feeling bored watching it, man. Like it did nothing for me. But I do remember I liked Thank You for Smoking. That was a good movie.
Yep. Just wait until I actually think that this Ghostbusters movie is going to be good, or at least it'll be better than the 2016 movie.
That's not saying. Yeah, but that's a damn with faint praise. Like almost anything is better than that.
At least Ghostbusters 2 isn't the least popular movie anymore.
I guess so. Hmm. Okay, I'm a dumbass because I tried. because I tried switching over to the new Twitter setup, and now I'm just stuck on my profile, and I can't. Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. It ain't working.
Yeah, no, guess not.
Yeah, I'm just get like this. Yeah, like I'm just getting a whole bunch of something went wrong. Fuck. This is gonna be something I'm gonna be stuck. I'm gonna have to be stuck using the Twitter app on my phone for a while until this fixes itself.
Yeah, jeez.
Fix this, Jack. And anyone gets. I hope anyone in the call, anyone in the chat got that joke.
Oh, nobody did.
Although I'm pretty sure you know what I was going. Pretty sure you know what I was going for there.
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
Are you sure?
Completely.
You still sure about that, Matt?
I was joking.
Yep. But yeah, if I'm hoping for anything, it's that the Jason Reitman's version of Ghostbusters. I mean, if good, thank you for smoking's anything to go by, that it'll at least have good dialogue.
If it's anything, he'll probably try to keep it as faithful as what his father would have wanted.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Although he can't use the original actor since Harold Ramis is dead.
Yep. So he's going to have to assemble a new team of comedians.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Reese. How you doing? He's in the Matthew Reese is in the chat right now.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. I don't know. Can you think of any random 4 comedians who could? I honestly, I mean, I do not want to say that can rival Murray, Ramis, Miss Aykroyd, and Hudson, because like they were very unique talents, and like those are the reasons why those guys are considered comedy legends.
Yeah.
Like who today could even like it doesn't matter like how good comedians they get for this new movie, these guys are going to be in their shadow.
I'd have to say if we were to find someone to recapture Venkman's ego,
Mm-hmm.
I think Chris Pratt could probably pull it off.
Oh yeah, maybe.
For Egon's intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it tells you how dumbed down comedy is when you can't if you can't think of any comedians or actors who
And
are smart.
Pratt, even though Chris Pratt has done comedies, he's not a comedian.
No, but he could pull off a Venkman.
Maybe. For some reason, I want to imagine Bill Burr in a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine him being like he could probably be like what Ernie Hudson was in the original, like
the everyman.
Yeah, but he's a lot more pissed off and a lot more cantankerous. He's just constantly yelling.
Yeah.
I like Bill Burr, if anyone can't tell.
No, nobody can.
Bye, Race.
Bye, Race.
No.
But the thing is, when Reitman said that he's going to do a movie, he's going to do it set in the present day. The 80s events happened.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not replacing them.
Of course not.
What he could probably do is have basically have Ernie Hudson and Dan Aykroyd reprise their roles as the remaining members of the Ghostbusters original team to train a new generation.
Why does that sound like? Wasn't that what they tried doing with Extreme Ghostbusters?
And Ghostbusters 3.
Which
The
never
original.
happened. Which did not happen.
Nope.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of but that's not a bad setup. Like, you have a couple of the old guys that's already just passed the torch.
And I think that's what Reitman's going to do, is the passing of the torch.
So basically, you gotta find four comedians or comedic actors who can sort of like, maybe not. Obviously, you can't recreate what they did. That's impossible. Cannot be done.
Nope.
But hopefully just like offer at least something new.
Yeah, and I get the feeling that they'll probably try to bring back Chris Hemsworth.
I guess. So could have Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, Bill Burr, and I don't like. Oh, I can't. I am straining to come up with a fourth guy, and nothing is coming to mind at all.
Yeah, because you're trying to think of someone smart, a comedian who can do smart. Today, that seems impossible.
I'm sure I can think of someone, but it's just nothing's coming to my mind. Like,
yeah, and that was a problem.
Oh God, I just might have. I hope it's not Will Wheaton.
I'm sorry, what?
I just thought for a second it could be Will Wheaton.
Yeah, you were saying something I couldn't hear. I think whatever you said was just so horrific that wiped itself out.
Yeah, that's probably.
But no, I don't think it's gonna be Wheaton. Wheaton's probably gonna be the 2016 Ghostbusters movie was just fine. Kind of white knighting.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know, maybe. I guess Bradley Cooper, since he was able to play Rocket Raccoon, who was intelligent enough to do what he could.
I guess. So essentially, we got three Marvel actors and one actual comedian.
Yeah, pretty much. But then again, when you think about it, the MCU has become nothing but comedy.
You know, it's kind of bad comedy, though.
Yep. But we're picking out the guys who are the most charismatic.
Well, that is also true. And like, the only question is though, which is, this is key though. What really sold the movie, the original Ghostbusters, was the chemistry between the four main actors.
Oh yeah.
Like, you gotta, like, the cast has to have that chemistry, or it's just not gonna work. Like, they gotta be able to play off each other.
Which is why it's also gonna be tough, because how many actors today can ad-lib their roles? That was one of the reasons why Rick Moranis wanted to do a sequel, is because they let him do whatever he wanted. That wasn't him acting. That was all him.
Yeah. And, I mean, Bill Burr is really good at ad-libbing. He basically ad-libs all his bits.
Yeah. And, you know, if Rick Moranis likes Reitman, he'll probably come in and do a cameo. You know, unlike in Ghostbusters 2016, where he absolutely refused.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
He was the only one they couldn't find any dirt on.
Well, except for Harold Ramis, but he was dead.
Death doesn't count. Besides, he already had his cameo as a bust in the headmaster's office.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. They basically said, Harold Ramis is dead. Make a bust of him. He'll be in this movie no matter what. Death is no excuse.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awful.
I guess relating to our own stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you think I just realized I haven't really written in a ghost story for Changeling.
I've done some for Mythics.
Yeah. But it's just like, like a ghost story though, it's just like, ghost stories can be cool and all, but the problem is they're extremely formulaic. Ghost story always has some kind of unresolved business. That's like the whole point though. To get them some kind of to take care of their issues so that they can rest.
Yep.
It's like I want something where I don't feel so constrained. Like I said, I can dig a good ghost story, but it's just like I don't think I can get myself to write one.
It'd be a difficult task.
Well, it's just like I said, what am I going to do? It's just like, it's not hard to do. It's just more like, the reason why I like playing around with Celtic mythology as much as I do is because I have a ton of wiggle room. It's because there's no agreed upon version. Basically, you can do whatever you want with it. It's not as rigid as, say, Greek mythology.
Oh no, because they took their time. They made sure that was all coherent.
Well, not just that. The Greeks developed a written language. The Celts never got around to it.
That too.
So, yeah, like I said, I have wiggle room, and it's like I have things I can do with it. I can take like ideas and find ways to put my own spin on them pretty easily. That's like, I seem to work best when I don't have like too many restrictions. Like, I work best when the only restrictions I have are the ones I place on myself. I don't want stories putting restrictions on me.
Huh.
It's like if I was gonna write a ghost story, it's like I'd half feel tempted to work in some sort of clever twist just so that I could break the mold a little. I'm not sure that's the best way to go, just because, well, we saw what happened last time someone tried subverting expectations.
Well, it's gotta be it's really all about knowing how to subvert that expectation, as well as it being your own story.
Mm-hmm.
That last time someone subverted expectations, he did someone else's story.
Uh-huh.
And you saw how that turned out.
Very badly.
Yep. My whole thing, I'm probably going to end up subverting expectations when I do Volume 2 of Mythics. I might have people upset with me.
Well, also the reason why it's going to work in your case is because you're not just pulling the rug out from under the readers. There's actual build up to it. Like there's going to be subtle hints sprinkled throughout the first volume. That clever that you got to pay attention to notice.
Well, in this case, I'll probably be more of a pull the rug out, but not so much, but not hard enough to make someone bash their head in.
Well, then again, I mean, like the reason why Last Jedi fails at it so badly is because, like, again, like Rian Johnson clearly made no effort to understand what made Star Wars work. He just saw a bunch of superficial tropes that were associated with it, and decided to just find a way he could do the opposite of them all.
Yeah, like Luke Skywalker not being a bitch.
Yeah. Right. To subvert something, you have to understand it first.
Yep, and I understand my characters.
Well, you should. Yeah.
Although I think that it'll be interesting later on in the series when we start doing more crossovers.
Yeah. No, I think the episodic nature of Changeling sort of gives it a little air of unpredictability, because then you're never sure what's going to happen. Because you're never going to sure what's going to happen from issue to issue.
Yeah.
Like, and it kind of, I don't know, it just seems like that fits a young adult book very, very well, just because, like, when you're that age, everything feels like it's an adventure.
It really does. When you're 14, you're out doing stuff.
I mean, like, it's that time in your life where you're really starting to understand how the world is, and sort of starting to form your own opinions about it, and trying to figure out where you fit into it all.
And just to remind everyone, Maeve does not care about politics.
It's my line.
You can steal one of mine if you want.
I don't even know what your line is, so how can I steal it?
Exactly. But I do think that you're going to be the one that really makes it.
You think I'm going to be the one that you make it sound like I'm going to carry this whole universe on my back.
Well, why not? I let the others take a load off. But seriously, you're probably going to find more people who are going to relate more to Maeve, because that's how things were for them at that age.
Really?
Yeah. You've got potential in it.
Well, I mean, I know people really seem to like Maeve a lot, but it's just like you're gonna. But I mean, like, to be fair, none of us have made unattractive characters.
No. I think you made the most relatable.
And everyone can sort of relate to being an awkward 14-year-old kid.
Exactly.
Man, it is amazing. And trying to avoid stereotypes and cliches, I actually ended up making a character that had universal appeal.
Well, some things you wander into.
I guess. It's just amazing to me, is all.
I'll get you on that.
I mean, it's like I did the. I mean, like here's the thing: people. I mean, people really, really loved. They loved Regina.
Yep.
But I guess that I'm just trying to, and it just seems like Maeve kind of has that. This kind of seems to have that same kind of similar kind of appeal. Like everyone just seems to like her. Like even which is saying something considering that is that Brian kind of purposely wrote her to be unlikable, but there's context for it.
Yeah.
She has a reason to be the way she is.
And people can see that. The only ones who can't are the superficial ones.
Well, it's not hard to see that. It's like it's not hard to it is not hard to see why she's the way she is. It's like because Brian even tweeted out when you're going through PTSD, you're not likable.
Nope. And in a way, I can see why people think that he's unlikable, but that's what happens. It's one of those things that happens to you during events that just radically change your lives. You're like,
oh. I mean, like,
and you, what?
Just keep going.
And we see that going on with Regina, how she's battling the PTSD. And I think part of what we're going through is with her story is is ultimately her struggling to beat it. But well, if I continue on, I'll probably be more spoiler than anything else.
Yeah. All I can say is knowing some of my veteran friends, that's shit you never really get over. You just find a way to manage. You just find ways to manage it.
Yep. Which is why I just absolutely hate it whenever someone self-diagnoses themselves with PTSD. Because they'll say they've got PTSD, but they'll never go to a doctor, never go to a psychologist to have a credible diagnosis.
Uh-huh.
And I think we've seen more than one person in comics Twitter that that legitimately does have PTSD.
Uh-huh.
Which I'm not going to say names because it's probably going to be it's something that we probably shouldn't go into.
Probably not. Probably not, but it's just like I don't know, it's not just that, it's also like how many of these people have actually gone through something horrific enough that you would actually have PTSD. It's like
Yeah.
it's like I've seen a lot of people like just shriek that they have PTSD when it's like and they got PTSD when Trump got elected. It's like
Boy.
if Trump
Yeah.
getting elected gives you PTSD, I don't think that's your problem.
It's because they can't handle their emotions.
Like I still remember that one video of that one chick just shrieking, "I'm hyperventilating! Someone call an ambulance!"
Boy.
Like I'm having a panic attack. Bitch, you got Bitch. I'll be honest. If that's all it took, if Trump getting elected was all it took to give you a panic attack, you have other issues.
Oh, definitely. It's just crazy. Especially when you see all these Twitter profiles that self-diagnose as autistic.
Yeah, here's something. My brother's got Asperger's. Okay, he would take exception to people advertising the fact that they were on the spectrum.
You don't want that.
Hmm.
But it's people in 2019. They want to everyone to see them as a victim.
Yep.
I can't wait for that mentality to just die.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, yeah, me too. I can't wait. But yeah, it's just like here's something I gotta wonder. Man, like I think this was something we brought up in another stream about like how one of the most important things about making a character grow is that they have to experience conflict, and so as a writer, you sort of have to, no matter how much you don't want it to, you kind of have to let your character suffer a little.
Yep.
Well,
otherwise the ending will not be as satisfying.
Yeah, and honestly, I think someone might chime in and say like, you don't have to necessarily make them suffer, just struggle. Well, there's a slight difference, I would say.
Yeah. But I found that a lot of characters, when they're put through certain situations, they do tend to suffer. Whether it be something they had to do or a choice they had to make. It's just inevitable.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is what I'm getting at more is and that more what I'm getting at more is that the difference between struggling and the difference between struggling and suffering is that struggling could mean anything. It's very broad. It's just overcoming. It's just having to deal with a problem, and that could be anything.
Yep.
But suffering has an emotional connotation to it.
Oh yeah. There is.
And the
And
reason,
you're
yeah, and I,
what?
and like and it's something I've always come back to. Like what readers want out of writers is to feel like a writer understands them, and when a character's put through some kind of hardship and you actually see that it gets to them, at least just a little bit, like show just a little vulnerability, that kind of that's something anyone can identify with. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess a good way of putting it is like first Die Hard movie. I mean, sure, John McClane's not. John McClane never really actually worries if he's gonna. Actually, no, actually, he does worry if things are gonna work out throughout the whole movie. Like he just basically keeps making move after move, and for him, it's one Hail Mary after another, and he just hopes it works out, and he gets pissed when it doesn't.
Yep.
Yeah, there's the one where he tries to light up, where he tries to set off the fire alarm and hopes that it gets the fire department, and it does, and it almost does, but then the fire trucks turn away, and he's just trying to look for a radio just so he can contact the police, and it's just like he's trying everything he can.
And sometimes he'll just feel like giving up.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think that's what certain people don't seem to get, is that that's a hero. Heroes don't give up.
Exactly. Now, here's where you take it, where you can go too far with it, like where the hero is just too vulnerable. Have you ever seen Advent Children?
Yes. Cloud annoyed me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, I can remember watching a documentary on the DVD where they talked about like how Cloud was so weak, but that made him more human. He's too weak. Like,
there's introspection, and then there's just being a crybaby.
yeah.
The best kind of example of an introspective character in our media would be Kirk during the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah. Exactly.
What made him human was that he had a relatable issue had relatable issues to be introspective about, such as leaving alone his son, or age, or whatever. What?
And I was going to say also losing his best friend.
Yep. But that doesn't come until later.
But yeah. Or yeah, and also having to step down from commanding the Enterprise and have to live with the idea that he was possibly going to spend the rest of his career behind a desk.
Yep. Which, for him, fortunately, that never happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like what? But yeah, like Cloud is just like he's just so fucking myopic. He just focuses on how much he fucked up. And not only that, it even kind of contradicts the ending of Final Fantasy VII. Because he was kind of over that by the end of the game.
Yeah, but never let the rule of Square Enix is never let that interrupt a narrative they want to push.
Yeah, it's just like, but here's the thing: it's like it's not even that they just basically had to fuck so much up just to make that narrative if possible. Because like, there was nothing about the ending of Final Fantasy VII that kind of warranted Advent Children being the next logical step for it.
Don't question it. They'll probably retcon that in the remake, which is gonna be made up of 7 games.
Yeah, I'll believe that's gonna happen when I see it, and like they kept talking about how they're gonna put out the remake of Final Fantasy VII, and they still haven't, and now it's gonna be episodic.
Look at how long it took them to get Kingdom Hearts 3 out. They announced it back in 2012.
On the PS3, and that never happened.
Yep, now it's 2019.
That's like almost 10 years after the last one. Well,
I think it's.
I am not counting the spin-offs, by the way.
I think it's been more than 10 years.
Let me check out when 2 came out. Ugh. Kingdom Hearts 2, though, it's just like that's a game that just...
It's been 14 years.
Let's see. You sure? Yeah, sure about that. Let me look.
December 22nd, 2005.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah, you're right. 2005. Been 14 years since the last proper entry.
So let's see if this isn't a complete and total shit show, like other games that have waited a decade, over a decade to have release.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just, but it's like, like I gotta wonder, like, why were they sitting so long on this though? Like, were they just wait? Was it because of the whole Marvel and Star Wars deal though?
I don't know. They could have just made this game and then had Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts 4 in 20 years.
Yeah. You know, if they do have, if there is a Star Wars world in Kingdom Hearts 3, here's what I'm hoping for: no Rey, no Finn, no Poe.
What?
Has to be the classic characters.
No, they're gonna have those in there. Let's see. Okay, so Kingdom Hearts 3 will not have Star Wars or Avengers.
No.
So
Okay.
what?
So then that beggars the question: why were they sitting so long on it?
Because they had their precious remakes.
Which they haven't even really made.
Remakes, remasters. They're just a shit company now. Hey, remember when Square Enix made original games?
Square Enix made original games.
Oh, right. That was back during the Squaresoft days. And yes, I am calling them out. I mean, they did make the Fullmetal Alchemist games, which are based on which the manga was released by their manga side of their publishing.
Yeah, you know, I think I actually read. I think I actually read. I think I played one of the games on a PlayStation 2 once.
Yep. All I have to say is that when it comes to action figures, don't buy them. This will be the only time where you hear me say that I made a mistake in buying a Rukia figure. You know what happened right out of the box?
What?
Her foot fell off.
Oh man.
Yep.
You think Square Enix would have? You would think Square Enix would have more quality control over their toys.
No, apparently that was a common problem with their figures. So I'm not buying any Play Arts figures.
You know, here's a question though: like, where would you get them now?
Conventions. There's also import stores.
Uh-huh.
I think that's just about it.
Well, definitely not going to have Square Enix like produce a Maeve doll.
Oh God, it'd be
Really?
so horrific.
And now I'm just picturing what a Maeve designed by Tetsuya Nomura would look like. You know, can I actually go out on a limb and say Tetsuya Nomura is overrated?
Yeah, by the way, aggressively relaxing says Ray fan poet awesome.
Yay for you.
You know,
I do like him.
Ray had potential. I'm going to put out there she had potential.
Say
But
what?
she had potential to be good, but they squandered it. I think
And then they wrecked it.
Yep, I think if they had continued on with J.J. Abrams' ideas, we would have found out why Ray was able to know how to use the Force on whim.
Mm-mm. Yeah. It honestly doesn't even really matter because like any potential they had was just undone by Last Jedi.
Yeah, these were these were characters who had potential to be great, but Rian Johnson squandered them all, and that is the biggest reason why I don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
And that scene, that lightsaber scene in the throne room was just awful. It it was too flashy, and it was too obviously choreographed to the point to have it so that they that that they're there to be slaughtered. That one shot, that one very obvious point where the guardsman could have been able to get a hit in on Ray was you're the leader of a faction. Who would you rather have protecting you? The best of the best or random foot soldiers?
Exactly. But yeah, going back to my thing about like how Tetsuya Nomura is overrated, it's just like the guy throws in way too much stuff onto his character designs.
I have a friend who based his art style on him and refuses to change.
What?
Refuses to grow because he idolizes that art style so much. It's okay to idolize a style, but you should try to make your own.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But it's just like, dude, it's honestly, I think like one of his worst designs has got to be his Batman figure. Like, like people jokingly refer to it as Baphomet because it looks, oh well, almost kind of demonic. But not only that, it's just like there's too much detail.
I'll
Like,
just
I mean, have you seen what it looks like?
vaguely
Let me
remember
pull it
it.
up. Let me pull it up.
Oh, can you wait until the Nomura redesign of Bleach?
Are you kidding?
I am.
Oh, thank God. Because I do not want to. Like, God help us if we actually saw what that looks like. Okay, so here's what Tetsuya Nomura's Batman looks like.
What the fuck?
If I didn't tell you that was Batman, would you believe that was Batman?
It looks like Batman had sex with Evangelion. That's what their kid looks like.
It's just like, oh, dude, there's even more. Like, here's some others. Here's some other photo pics I found of it, like what the figure can do. Yeah, you get what when I was talking about. Like, look how busy that is. It's like it's got too much on it.
Yeah.
Like he goes for these. He always goes for these super overly complex designs. And I gotta wonder, is it because he just likes drawing all that stuff in, or is he just trying to see if he can dare cosplayers?
I think a little both. And you know something? That's probably one of the problems I have with Marvel trying to do cosplay designs for their characters, because cosplayers aren't going to go for the simple designs. They're going to go for complex. They're going to go with what challenges them. I mean, geez.
Yeah, but here's I don't know. I'm just kind of the. I think a good I think a chunk of why people like Maeve so much is that she actually has a very simple design.
Yeah.
That still also kind of sticks out.
She really does.
I mean, I guess you could kind of say that she has a cosplayable look, so to speak.
Yeah, I could pull the clothes out of the closet, but the real challenge will be in the makeup.
Oh, no doubt.
But cosplayers are impressive, honestly. They'll take something and they'll either do some little changes to make it their own, or they'll see something for the first time, want to cosplay it, and then a day later have the costume ready. That's why I found that out when watching the streams from RTX, and after they debuted the RWBY Volume 4 trailer, all of a sudden, so the redesign of main character Ruby Rose, and in the panel next day, there were 2 or 3 cosplayers who had that redesign cosplay already done.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk shit about cosplayers because they are impressive.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. Yeah, they will figure it out. I think the real challenge with Maeve is getting the eyes right.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that there is a context for it. They have cosplay context to give you the red eyes look. And holy shit, I just saw the redesign of Catwoman. What was he thinking?
I told you.
And the Joker, what the? Is that supposed to be the Joker or Rorschach?
I told you, like, Tetsuya Nomura is. Now, do you believe when I say Tetsuya Nomura is overrated?
Yep.
It's like, his stuff was cool. His stuff was kind of cool in the full back with like Final Fantasy VII because no one else because it was different. I don't think anyone had seen anything that looked like that at the time.
Yeah, but it's not going. It's pretty overdone now.
Oh, no doubt. Like the dude is just so. I mean, like when you don't put any, when you put no restrictions on that guy. Oh my god, does he go crazy with the details and stuff?
Yep. I mean, to be fair, that is pretty impressive to have all that to put in all that detail into your artwork. But there's sometimes where it's just overly detailed.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I put it this way: like you want to when I think of what detail looks like done right, I think of stuff like with like StarCraft or like StarCraft, Warcraft, maybe Diablo, 40K. Like there's a lot of detail that goes into those designs, but there's still enough of a. But there's still kind of there's enough detail. There's enough detail, but there's like, what's the word? There's still something cohesive about the design. This just seems like he threw, like his Batman designs look like he threw everything he thought was cool.
Yep. And I just saw his version of Black Panther. It's basically Iron Man, but in black.
Now that's just being lazy.
Yep. Remember when they said it was all about his where remember how advanced the technology was in Wakanda that they made metal move more like a material for costumes than a suit of armor.
I'm hearing something that sounds like I am hearing something that vaguely
Sounds
sounds
like
like liquid metal.
yeah, something like that. It's yeah, it just seems like it's everyone's going for the Iron Man look ever since the first Iron Man movie.
I don't disagree. It's like they do kind of seem to have that sort of they do seem kind of Iron Man-esque a little bit. Yeah, it's like they think, oh yeah, that's what power armor is gonna look like. I don't think so. It's like, I don't know. We get a run of power armor, it's gonna be like very bulky and not very nimble.
If it's anything, I don't think we're going to have power armor. It's going to be more along the lines of exoskeletons.
I don't know. I'm thinking something that's either like out of Fallout or 40K.
Maybe, but these days it seems like they're looking more towards a lighter and more nimble exoskeleton rather than a bale suit.
To be honest, battlesuits look a lot cooler though.
Yeah, but I've seen the. But then again, sometimes exoskeletons can turn into bale suits of their own, such as the A-frames from Exo Squad were originally based on the exoskeleton design.
Really?
Oh yeah, and they have a group a part of their military known as the Jump Troopers that utilizes what we know of as exoskeletons. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Look up the Jump Troopers.
That actually sounds really cool though.
Yep. Basically, I think if it's anything that we're going to, if we're going to have fail suits. They're probably going to be more based on the exoskeletons than anything else.
I mean, I can, I can kind of see it.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I feel like I should try getting the habit of just muting myself when I sneeze.
That might be a good idea.
So it's like, well, how am I supposed to know that when it's supposed to? So, how am I supposed to know when it's coming? Though.
That's kind of something. That's also something that we could also be more lenient towards Zach about, since how is he supposed to know when his coughs are going to come in?
That is true. Yeah, it's just like I'm just going to.
Okay, and here you go. I just linked the Jump Trooper.
Yeah. So like, hi, I'm just gonna open this up and. So that's what it would look like, huh?
Yep. So there's the heavier E-frames.
Now, the problem with this thing is it does not offer much in the way of protection. Although I'm gonna guess that's not what it's for.
No, basically light assault.
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Like exoskeletons could. I mean, just like I could kind of see it. I suppose I suppose but it's like if I've got power armor, I kind of want it to also be. I'd also want it to be able to protect me. I mean, this looks like it's at least good for
Well, here's
looks like it's good for
and that's the heavier E-frame.
Yeah, I mean, I was just before I got distracted by tanks showing up on Slack. What I was gonna say is this thing looks like it's good for at least like doing like you said it's light assault, but I'm also guessing like what somewhat heavy lifting because that gun looks kind of heavy.
Yep. Heavy lifting, scout missions.
Yeah. Yeah, E-frame is like what I think most people would associate with like traditional power armor.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really operate the same as a power armor. And well, for one thing, you can just jump right in. It's more like in a way, much easier to get into when ambushed. Mm-hmm. While when you look at power armor, it's something that it seems more like I don't really know how they get in or out.
That's okay.
It's more of an armor than anything else.
Yeah, I don't know, because like the E-frames always looked to me like they were supposed to be like mech suits or something.
In a way, but they also operate as more of vehicles, where you have one type of E-frame that can, where you have the E-frame that linked you operate with air assaults.
Here's something like if they brought back, would you actually be down with them bringing back Exo Squad?
Depends on how they bring it back.
Okay, how about this? Not a full-on reboot, but so much as finishing where the story left off.
I wouldn't mind.
Now, if they tried rebooting it,
That might be a disaster because it was a very dark series for a 90s cartoon. It dealt with themes of persecution and racism, as well as how the oppressed can become the oppressors.
mm-hmm.
As well as not everyone. The characters were more complex. You had, for a standard cartoon, you had definable good guys and bad guys, but with Exo Squad, there were internal factions within each side, such as you look at the human side with the Exo Fleet. Not everyone agreed with of Admiral Winslow on how to do things, which led to a mutiny in the Exo Fleet. However, the leader of that mutiny, despite his disagreements with Winslow, always disagreed that Winslow did not lose his backbone for a fight, but he felt like he was being too cautious. And you had characters get killed off from time to time.
Well, it's not. I'm gonna assume like because of the time they couldn't actually show them getting killed, but it was like there was very little room for speculation though.
Pretty much.
You couldn't show a person getting shot in the chest with a laser, with a blaster or anything, but they could be in the middle of an explosion, and that's like you didn't see it, but you know what happened.
Oh yeah. It was a very complicated show for its time. And yeah, it did pretty well. Not every show could say that made it 2 seasons.
That is true. Here's something though. I mean, like I gotta wonder though. That kind of makes me think a little. Is it actually more effective to show death or just imply it?
Depends on the mood you're trying to set. In a horror movie, it'd be a lot more effective to let your imagination see the murder happen rather than actually showing it. Because if you see the aftermath, that's going to really mess up your mind. But if you imply a death, it depends. Also depends on what you're trying to do. If you imply a death in a young adult book, that's acceptable too because you're not trying to go with the whole traumatizing kids.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not so that's like you can deal with death without it being too graphic. And in the case of like a horror movie, what your imagination will come up with will likely be more effective than what you'll actually see.
Yep.
Although I think in the slasher movies you kind of don't really have a choice.
People came to see the gore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean like Honestly, I don't think movies like Halloween or Friday the 13th would be half as effective if you didn't actually see the people getting killed.
Oh no.
But it's like, well, like in that case, like with Exo Squad, I'm like I just came up with that scenario out of my head, but I'm almost certain like that actually happened. Like a character was just sort of stuck in the middle of an explosion, and there wasn't like any ambiguity to it. Like you didn't have to see it, but you knew that the character was dead.
Oh yeah, the leader of the mutiny. He was given a chance to be rescued as his ship was about to be destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
and he turns away his rescue at gunpoint, telling Cal to leave Winslow the message of that he knew how to die. Which afterwards, he rams his ship into the Neo Sapien flagship, or one of their big ships, to allow the rest of the fleet to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it was a very everyone was complicated in that series. It was just yeah, yeah. I don't think any animator could today would be able to handle the idea that a character could have depth to them, that they could disagree and yet still have respect for each other.
That's so, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's you see the kind of crap they're putting out now.
Exactly. Yeah, I do. But it's but yeah, I mean, like that's. I mean, the kind of that the kind that's a kind of show that would require a little balls behind it. So it's like, I guess if you were gonna bring it back, it basically had to be like a Samurai Jack sort of thing, where it's going for a more adult feel, but it's just more there to finish the story.
Yep. Problem is that I think if they were to give it to Genndy Tartakovsky, it'd have a good ending, but won't have the same, but won't be keeping in the same style with the original series.
Well, yeah, I mean, like this is not to take anything away from. This isn't to take anything away from the original Exo Squad, but the animation's kind of dated.
Well, it's based off of the old the old mecha style of artwork in Japanese anime. So it's gonna look dated, but the show itself still holds up.
I wouldn't
At
have
least
to.
it'll hold up better than the CalArts style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely does hold up better than CalArt than a lot of CalArt shows, but that's not saying much.
Nope. But I just don't want to think about how much they talk down to kids in a reboot, just like they did with the Thundercats Roar series.
That's a show that just like, especially considering like how good the last reboot was.
Yep.
I mean, dude, that was a. I mean that. I'm just that. In fact, in some ways, the rebooted Thundercats show better than was better than was better than the original.
Yeah, because they were able to put in more. They were able to put more thought in the story.
Yeah.
Back then, I think the original Thundercats was just sell toys.
I mean, people still like it, but it's like.
Oh yeah, the animation, it was beautiful. I think.
Oh yeah, it was, and that was partially because they got like Studio 4 degrees Celsius behind it.
Yep.
Like that was, yeah, it looked really good, and then there was actually there was actually a pretty epic story behind it.
Yeah, and the reboot was able to take that and actually makes up it and improve upon it. And then here comes Thundercat Roar, which undoes, which basically downgrades.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the one thing that really, really stuck with me was how they called the Sword of Omens a magic stick.
What? You're kidding me? Like Lino refers to the Sword of Omens as a magic stick.
Yeah, this is my magic stick, the Sword of Omens.
That can easily be skewed in all the wrong ways.
Yep. As well as it's really talking down to kids, as though they don't know what a sword is.
Not just that, it's like they're going for. You can tell they're going for a really stupid joke too. It's just like magic stick, really.
Yep. Well, don't forget, this is the same guy. This has the same producer who has on his office Bossy Boy.
Yeah, it's just that. But yeah, just kind of what that just kind of aggravates me though. It's just like they had something good going with that reboot back in 2011, and I think the only reason it got canceled was because it was in a really bad time slot.
Yeah, and the toys didn't sell either.
It's the same reason they canceled Young Justice as well.
And and that's the reason why they're gonna cancel Star Trek Discovery, is because when Star Trek when Star Trek had slumping viewers in for the older shows, they always made up for it in merchandise. Star Trek Discovery has no merchandise.
Like even Enterprise at least managed to improve by the third season.
Yeah, and Enterprise was able. Enterprise was well. I had very good ratings on UPN. The problem was that Les Moonves, why it gone.
I don't know, like if you want to know what. Okay, I'm going to be bringing up SF Debris again, but I think he kind of nailed it. Nailed it. There is one episode of Enterprise where he kind of nailed as the death of the show pretty much, because after this episode, the ratings just sank like a stone and they never recovered. You know which episode that is?
One.
A Night in Sick Bay.
I don't even remember that one.
You don't remember that one?
Nope.
I'll link you his review, but here's the gist of it. The Enterprise needs a new warp cell, I think. They need something, and the only alien race they can trade with to get the thing they need are like super uptight. And part of it requires them having to perform some kind of sacred tree cutting ceremony or some shit.
Huh.
Well, here's where things went wrong.
Oh boy.
Archer brought the dog with him.
Yep.
You can already guess where things went wrong.
Basically, they had him mostly in sickbay with the dog.
That's actually not untrue. They're actually not. They're actually pretty close. Most believe it or not.
Yep.
But yeah, not just that. It's just like the dog hisses on the tree and angers them, and so they have to try and figure out a way to get the. And I just realized the link I handed you, and I'm not sure there's a video there. Crap.
Oh well.
There's another one he has.
But I'm gonna go ahead and take the guess that this episode made Archer look like a completely incompetent character.
You are correct. It did. It made him look just terrible. And oh man, it gets even funnier when it tries to build some sexual tension between him and T'Pol. And it was the one and only time this ever happened. They never revisited this again.
Of course.
And it gets even better. Do you want to know who wrote this episode?
No.
Shit. Brannon and Braga.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was them.
Who decided that was a good idea?
Yeah, it was Brian. Yeah, it was Brandon Braga and I got it wrong. It was Brandon Braga and fuck, who was the other guy? It was the guy who took over. It's the guy who took over producing. His name also starts with a B. Shit, who was
Rick Berman?
Rick Berman, yes. It was Berman and Braga.
Yeah, Berman was in charge of Star Trek since Gene Roddenberry died. And a lot of people blame him for Star Trek's death, but to be fair, he did manage the franchise during his most popular days, so.
Yeah, but he also I'm just gonna say that Ron Moore also commented on that he he kind of held them back a lot too.
Yeah, because he wanted to do what Roddenberry wanted to do. From what I've seen the documentary Gene Roddenberry's son had done on Star Trek,
mm-hmm.
And in an interview, Rick Berman talked about how they received busts of Gene Roddenberry. So every time there was a meeting about Star Trek, he'd blindfold the bust of Gene because they were going to defile his dream.
What the fuck? I get him wanting to keep to Gene's vision. I get that.
Well, it's over the top.
It's like, holy shit, dude. It's like, you gotta.
You gotta chill out a little.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I know. But like I said, I think more talked about like just how Berman just kind of held them back. Like he would, like they basically had to fight to get to do a lot of the stuff they wanted to do on Deep Space Nine because Berman was just was was so hands on. And then of course you had Voyager, which I know people like it, but let's not kid ourselves. Voyager played it way too safe too often.
Yeah. They really did, and it's that's what made it suffer.
Yeah, it's just yeah, exactly. It's man. Whereas like what kind of helped like Deep Space Nine really stand out was just because it was actually willing to go off the beaten path and actually explore explore sides of Star Trek that the other shows couldn't or wouldn't.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's not to say you did not have like dark episodes of TNG. Like, how cool was that one? Chain of Command. That's got to be
Oh
like
yeah.
that's got to be like one of the darkest Star Trek episodes easily. Like, I mean, it's an episode. It's a two-parter where Picard is being tortured.
There's nothing. There's nothing you really want to see. Really.
Yeah. But of course, I still maintain that you cannot you that you cannot top In the Pale Moonlight for sheer darkness in Star Trek, though.
Well, yeah. A Star Trek captain just just became an accomplice to assassination,
Yeah,
and then said that he'd do it all over again.
exactly. Exactly, dude. Like
Yeah,
that's like that. This is something that's something Discovery has been that I got the vibe Discovery was trying to do and failed to.
Yeah, and right now they're doubling down by giving himself, yeah, a series.
Was her character even that good to warrant it? I mean, for God's sake, like
I don't even know what the series is going to be about. Is it going to be about the Starfleet captain version, or is it going to be about the Mirror Universe version?
oh man, the Mirror Universe arc really took over that season.
Yeah, and that was very awful because you can tell where it was going. The super politically correct in the Dark Universe, nobody cares about the politically correct, where you don't where it has been established in Enterprise that the Empire can have an empress,
Ha, ha, ha,
but
ha,
instead they chose to give her the title of Emperor.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's her title in the Mirror Universe, Emperor.
God damn.
Geez, the Mirror Universe is so progressive.
God damn. It's just so stupid. It's like, I'm sorry, but Emperor is a gender term.
And the one thing that makes it even less feel like the Mirror Universe is how the characters in the mirror universe dress. In the mirror universe, all women wear show off their midriffs, and it's just this that was just.
Think about the only good thing about that was like Lorca's character.
And then they killed him off. It would have been interesting if he turned out to be a Starfleet captain who was suffering from PTSD, but no, he's evil.
Well, even then there was still some potential because like he was similar to Khan, but he had a little bit difference because like this was a guy who had basically had to fight his way to get to where he was at.
Yep. And they think that bringing on Christopher Pike as the new, making it seem like he's Kirk, that's going to save the show. No, it's not. They say what? Go on.
Sorry. There's just no goodwill. Like they'd exhausted all the goodwill by going the more woke route to begin with.
Yep. And you know something? I know who their big expert on Star Trek is?
Ho.
A failed scriptwriter for Voyager, who then went on to write Voyager novels.
Well. Couldn't get Berman. Couldn't even get Brannon Braga.
Nope. They took someone who had no idea and no interest in the time frames he was going to be writing in.
You know, at least Seth MacFarlane got Brannon Braga on the Orville.
That's probably why they couldn't get him.
I know that. That was, I mean, getting Braga was kind of more was rhetorical, but it's like you guys honestly could not. You guys just could not get anyone with better working knowledge of this universe. Like there were so many.
I was at first I was okay with Star Trek Discovery when I heard that Nicholas Meyer was going to be a consulting producer. But there was I don't think they consulted him at all.
No, I don't think they did.
And he's the one example of someone who did not care about the source material, but was still able to take the time to understand the source material to make a competent movie.
Yeah,
and Rian Johnson.
Well, I was gonna say it's the guy who was the producer for Wrath of Khan.
Well,
Harve Bennett, that was his name.
Yep, but you want to know something interesting?
What?
Something funny. So during the time that the original series was in production, Gene Roddenberry had chased off a young producer off the set. And that young producer was Harve Bennett.
Really?
Yep. And after reading that, it made it all. It just all fit in to why the Enterprise was destroyed, why they introduced the Excelsior, because he was trying to. He was getting revenge on Roddenberry for that incident.
Wow.
Yep. He also backstabbed Shatner with Star Trek V.
That is like goddamn there. Wow. That's just I mean, that's just epic. Matt, are you still there? I think I lost Matt, guys. Okay. I'm gonna try messaging him over Slack, see if he comes back. I'm gonna try messaging him on Slack, see if he's still here. Let's find out. And I'm just kind of waiting on him to answer. He lost his connection. I guess we're waiting on him.
Okay, that was weird.
Oh, looks like I got you back. Good.
Yeah. I lost connection for a second.
No, that was weird. Okay, I was gonna say though, if that was like Harv Bennett getting revenge on Roddenberry, I'm just gonna say that was epic.
Oh, yeah. It was one of those, probably one of the biggest. It's probably one of the biggest fuck yous in Hollywood history.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's just like, dude, like, how do you pull that off?
Sheer determination and fight.
Well, we know a guy like that.
Yes, we do. Only difference is that Harv Bennett made a career of it.
So is that typically what happens to him? People just underestimate him, and then he just says, "Yeah, watch me."
Pretty much.
Well, I do remember. I think I do remember, like SF Debris when he was going over like the history of Star Trek 2. He brought up how like Harv Bennett was sort of brought on because he was good at keeping to a budget.
Yep, that's probably one of the reasons. His keeping to a budget was probably one of the reasons why he was so good at it. His fight made him keep on budget.
Oh yeah, I mean like it's pretty damn important that you're able. It's actually pretty damn important that you can keep to a budget. Imagine with a movie like. Speaking of keeping to a budget, do you think we've seen any of these Indiegogo books go over budget?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Well, we can name a couple that probably have.
Yeah, some of them who are still on demand.
Yeah, that's gotta be that's something that just fascinates me though. It's just like they've been in development for like almost a year, and they're not even out, and like people are still waiting for them. I'm just saying, comic fans are super patient when they want something.
Yeah. Although some might be keeping to agreements made.
Yeah, I guess it's just. Still, though, I think about the only people who've got to be more patient than that are people who we're waiting on Star Citizen.
Can't get more patient than me. Yeah, but
That's right. You've been waiting on Star Citizen, but I don't know. I'm not seeing the game out on store shelves. So how is it done?
it's the highest funded crowdfunding campaign.
Uh-huh.
I think it's now over $100 million budget.
I'm just saying, it's like how long ago was this game announced? When was this game announced again?
2012, I think.
7 years, and the game isn't on shelves anymore. Still isn't on shelves.
Well, it's not gonna be on shelves. I don't think PC games are ever going to be on shelves again.
Oh, so it wasn't intended for a console release.
No, they're going full PC. What Chris Roberts wants to do with Star Citizen is to push what PCs can do.
Okay, so it's going to be like fully digital but I think I remember coming across a Razorfist video where he talked about like how he had to secure funding from investors.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there were investors involved.
Yeah, but the picture that Razor was sort of painting about that was that now this means that now what this means is that Chris Roberts is no longer beholden to the original backers. He's now beholden to these guys. And that's not a good thing.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's a reality. But with the big overall scope of the game, and if it's anything, he has delivered on giving the backers a game. What they're pretty much backing was the type what kinds of ships they'd start off with.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't say that he'd do something as scummy as hold back the release of Squadron 46 for the backers. They'll probably be among the first to get it because he doesn't want to alienate them.
Mm-hmm.
But we shall see.
And I guess if Star Citizen has just had one problem so far, it's that it's been too ambitious.
Oh yeah, Chris Roberts has had this idea in his head since the late 90s. He came up with the concept for Privateer Online, which was supposed to be the MMO for the Wing Commander universe. But they canceled Wing Commander to concentrate more on Ultima Online. Which, get this, back when Ultima Online was in development, EA put in next to no money into it because they didn't think online play was going to go anywhere.
Why were they wrong?
Yeah, now it's nothing but online play from them. But that was probably because Ultima Online, when they ran out of money, they told. Basically, you could probably say that Ultima Online was also one of the very first crowd-funded games because they set up on their website that they were looking for testers up for the game. Send in $5 and they'll get a copy of the game.
Huh.
They got more from that than any amount that EA gave them.
God damn, that's amazing.
Yeah. But the thing that makes Ultima still different from most today is that it wasn't so much a game you're playing, but it's also an experience for you. Because you got to choose what the character you're playing was going to be. You got to choose where they lived too, because you could buy property in the game. And what a lot of players would do is set up a. Basically, they would level up their skill in either blacksmithing or alchemy or any of the crafting classes and make money off of make enough gold in game to buy property in the town center to just set up shop there.
Shit, it's amazing.
Yep. So basically, you had players going in and buying weapons that were crafted by other players.
And Tank just posted in the Slack that Disney stole a Star Wars fan film and monetized it.
Yep.
That is, I gotta wonder, did they steal it, or did they just say, or they just hand some legal shit, some legal documentation saying, hand this over to us or we sue you?
It's probably that. And I can't feel sorry for Disney, but also fan films are basically things that have the ability for the rights owner to take it and make it their own.
It's like, oh my god, it's like, dude, it's just like you couldn't just leave it well enough alone. I'm pretty sure they weren't. I'm pretty sure they weren't going to monetize it.
No, but it's Disney. And hey, Tank, how are you doing?
Dude, why don't you jump in? Okay, I'm just gonna send him the link in here.
I think he's might be getting ready for work too.
Oh yeah, that's true. What time is it in South Africa right now?
Probably way too early for any of us to be awake.
It's almost 6 a.m.
Jeez. So yeah, I don't think he'll have the time to be on stream for very long.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'd like to have him on because it would be
You'd like to have him on because why? Am I not good enough?
No, you're awful. Get out of here. No, you're good.
No, fuck you. If I'll leave and I'll take Maeve with me, and you can and you and Dan can launch the Mythoverse without her. Let's see how far you guys get.
Look, we're not friends because we want Maeve in the Mythoverse.
Right.
Besides, we launched this together, remember?
Yeah.
It really is interesting that this all started because you asked for my opinion on a script.
It is interesting, actually. Yeah.
I'm curious. What made you ask me for advice?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
I honestly don't remember. I get. I guess you were just one of the few people who were willing. It just. I just sent the script out to, and you just responded back.
Oh well,
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember.
yeah, yeah. You do seem like the type of person to send it out to multiple people and see which one sticks around.
Yeah. Okay, now here's something funny.
Hmm.
Do you know what the new? Do you know what the new meme is on Twitter right now?
What?
Click, you'll see.
Oh, that. Well then.
Yeah, apparently someone takes that random clip from. We'll take that random clip from Naruto and put another random pic next to it to make it look like someone's choking Sasuke.
Like if there's anyone I feel like anyone would want to, people would want to strangle, it'd be Naruto.
I don't know. Sasuke could get pretty annoying too.
Yeah, true. Huh. There's a Grand Tour game.
What?
Oh, basically the Grand Tour is Amazon Prime is a successor to the Top Gear series with the original hosts. And so they took their concept to Amazon Prime, and now they've got a game coming out.
That's so.
Yep. It looks like it's a racing game,
Damn.
except that you get to play as one of the hosts. And apparently there's going to be ridiculous challenges from the series.
That is actually really cool.
Yeah. Wait, they're talking about season 3. Is season 3 out?
Season 3 of Top Gear.
No, the Grand Tour. If or is the Grand Tour game season 3?
Okay, that I don't know.
And it looks like it's doing pretty well in reviews since it's got 3.4 out of 5 stars.
Hmm.
So basically, this is the best reviewed game that has 3 middle-aged men as the main characters.
And like I said, dude, that's actually really cool.
Yep. I think that this if it's going to be if it's something that could be applied to other shows, it'd be really cool to have it be to have a online game that's set in a known sci-fi franchise, and it'll allow you to connect with other players while playing the game's version of the episode of each episode of that show.
Hmm.
You know, there's one thing that I saw. So I was telling Tank earlier about how, how Chris Roberts, about how GOG.com has all these production documents as extras for the Wing Commander games, their releases of it. And among those production documents is another reason why Chris Roberts is an extremely ambitious man.
For real.
Because his idea for a privateer sequel would have two components to it. One would be a TV show, and the other would be a game. Basically, you have the first season of the show start off with two main characters, and then once that show ends, that's when Privateer 2 starts with one of the characters branching off with their own story. And then they'd eventually reconnect at a point for a later season and Privateer 3.
Wow, that is. I don't know. I mean, like, this kind of reminds me of when, like, you remember when Defiance was on?
Yep.
They tried doing something similar to that. They had the TV show, and then they had the MMO, which was supposed to be like affected by the events on the show.
Yep. You could probably say he was the one who originated the idea.
I guess so, but it's more. Oh, but it's like when I get. Here's the question, though. I mean, like, do you think that do you think it pulled it off? Because I did watch Defiance. I did not play the game though.
I watched the first season of Defiance. I never played the game. So I would not know.
Yeah, would actually be kind of helpful if someone could step in and talk about talk about whether or not they played that game, because that would be very helpful.
Oh yeah, it would be. I'm actually surprised that Chris Roberts didn't try to make a TV show for Star Citizen to try out that idea too.
I have to wonder if he might have had a hand in that.
Probably. Both Chris Roberts and Richard Garriott have been pretty influential in games even after Origin Systems went under.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's like it's it. I mean, even though they're not as big into it as they into the not as big in the game industry as they used to be. Like the effects they've had on it, you can still feel them.
Oh yeah, especially with Richard Garriott and the morality system.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I even, you know what? Much as we like to make fun of Spoonie nowadays, like I would say like up until he got to Ultima 9, like those are probably some of his best videos.
Yeah, Spoonie of the past was a better person than Spoonie now.
Yeah, but it's like he made it. But I remember when he got to Ultima 4, he talked about like how he found like the morality system there. It was like more complex and nuanced than the more binary system we have now.
Yeah, because another thing is that there are consequences to your morality. If you're someone who will steal from other people, then the subs aren't going to be as willing as to sell anything to you.
Whereas compared to like say like in Mass Effect where you just punch that annoying reporter bitch in the face and like all you get is like a phone call on all from the Navy saying, you know, that didn't look good, but it's just basically a slap on the wrist.
Yep. Who cares? I'm Commander Shepard. I do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, it's like it's honestly being playing Paragon or Renegade just it doesn't really change the game that much. For how much it talks about how much your choices matter.
It, especially when they had the ending to Mass Effect 3.
I mean, fuck, I'd even say that's kind of true to like the light side, dark side parts of like Knights of the Old Republic. Like about, I mean, like really the only thing that's different is that if you go full dark side, your companions react differently to you, sure, but and it makes like dark side powers a lot easier to use. There's not really that, but aside from like getting the dark side ending, there's not really that much of a consequence to it.
No, and it's there. I think a lot. That's where a lot of game developers have gotten lazy.
Huh.
Another thing about MMOs is that you can't own property anymore,
Oh yeah.
except for except that to a certain degree, Rockstar Games has done it with Grand Theft Auto Online.
I actually think you might be able to do it in Black Desert Online, but I haven't played that game.
Say, Shroud of the Avatar, Richard Garriott's latest game, you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to do everything you're able to do in Ultima Online.
Oh, yay.
And I think if we were to do Twitch streams, that'd be an interesting game to do it in. Only
Yeah,
problem is, what?
I would say yeah.
Only problem is whether or not your computer will be able to handle it.
I'm pretty sure by the time the game comes out, I'll have the hard drive replaced.
Oh, it's out already. You can play for free.
Oh, it's wait, what?
It's out.
For free?
Yep.
I've got my buddy did give it about 6 more months of life.
So you gotta try it out.
Yeah. I mean my PC seems to be able to handle playing Fallout 4 just fine. I might actually have to do a few test streams on test streams like say next Monday to see if I can get the see how it does.
Okay, well,
yeah, I think like the only problem I ran into is the fact that OBS really is a resource hog when it comes to the CPU.
oh yeah. So basically, Richard Garriott has returned to being Lord Briss. So I wonder if we get to kill him this time around.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, another thing that I just thought of, like even though like games like Elder Scrolls encourage you to do what you want, it also kind of punishes you for doing it. Like, I mean, it should.
Yeah.
let me put it this way: you kill someone in broad daylight, you're gonna get the guards coming at you, and probably get your ass thrown in prison.
Definitely. And, I'm going to say that I think there's going to be a lot more consequences in I Shroud of the Avatar simply because Ariat believes that RPGs lately have been taking it easy on you way too much.
Oh yeah,
So,
I would disagree there. Just like I said, there's hardly any real consequences for your choices in RPGs these days.
yeah, he also says that he wants to bring back the ability for players to take down notes while in conversations with NPCs because he's not going to give you that map marker. You're going to have to find it.
Oh damn! So now you actually have to use your brain.
Yes.
So if you forget so if you get lost, it's kind of your own fault.
Yep. And it's a single player game, but as well as multiplayer.
Cool.
But but it's a world that's constantly on the move. So you have a set number of time to go to a battle. If you don't go to a battle or defend a village, that village is gone or protected by someone other than you. The world keeps on spinning without you, in a way.
Kind of like real life.
Yep.
Now here's the big question, because like a lot of people want to go into video games for the pure escapism. What is this doing right that like other games that are like trying to be all realistic aren't?
They're not focused. It's not as heavily focused on the static storyline.
Uh huh.
I think the older game developer creators are the most ambitious ones because they remember the kinds of dreams that they had about where the software could take them later on. These are games, they're now making games that they wanted to make for 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Kind of amazed that Gary had put Shroud of the Avatar up for free.
Well,
What's the
there,
snap?
well, I think it's because it didn't do very well because it made people use their brains.
Okay,
It
still, what's
for
the snag? Like, what is there? Is there like in-game currency that you gotta buy with real world money?
Well, there are bundles. But it doesn't look like. Okay, so basically, there are bundles. You have to pay. You do have to pay for in in real life currency,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them are for. Let's just say that only the Ultima fans that are successful in life could afford.
Okay, I see. So you gotta be able to.
But there's also a rewards program, which is $9 a month. So yeah, there is a lot of microtransactions, but it's not going to affect your experience in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They just look cool. That's all. You know, unlike certain game developers that we know of.
Like, ooh, could it be? Huh. Could it be? Could it be? Say, oh, I don't know, EA, but
Yep.
or Activision.
Yep. But there is one cool thing that you're probably going to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
One of the weapons is a chainsword.
Damn.
That's right. There are you.
Although it probably doesn't look like the one out of 40K.
No, but you know, he's he said that there was going to be elements of steampunk in there, so why not a chainsword?
Yeah, why not? And Crunchyroll just killed the meme.
What happened?
Look upon it and cringe. I'm gonna RT this, by the way. And just like that, a meme dies.
Yeah, yep.
It's just like, leave it to Crunchyroll to ruin something good.
Yep.
Do you want even more of a downer? Guess it just
What?
Marie Severin died. Co-creator of Spider-Woman.
Damn. Fortunately, she was getting up there in age.
She was 89.
Not as old as Stanley, but a respectable age.
Yeah. I wonder. I wonder. You know, I have to wonder though, because I can remember that. I can remember this one video that Zach made talking about how, for this narrative of how Marvel's trying to push women in comics, they're deliberately ignoring the accomplishments of more talented and more accomplished women that have already worked in the business.
Yeah. It's just pure disrespect.
Yeah, it's just like they ignore Louise Simonson, they ignore Ann Nesenti, and I'm gonna bet you they're more or less gonna ignore Marie Severin.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Like, these are women who contributed far more to the industry than Heather Antos or like Heather Antos or Erica Henderson or Gabby Rivera ever have.
I don't even think Gabby Rivera is working in comics anymore.
Well, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Like, and all I gotta say is they want to call comics a hate the misogynist movement. I don't know. They're not the ones ignoring more accomplished women.
So for them, it's not about women. It's more about protecting the feelings of the people, of the women that work for them.
And and to bring it back, so fuck the, like I said, fuck the more important and more accomplished women who contributed far more to the business.
Yep. And it's basically part of their whole idea that that history does not matter.
Yeah. But it's kind of like I've said before. Why let a good thing like why let a pesky thing like facts get in the way of a good narrative about how women being kept down by misogynist men?
Yep. Now, well.
Yeah, but you know,
Oh yeah. So another way that they're getting money for Strategy of the Avatar is selling merchandise.
say what?
Yeah, Strategy of the Avatar has merchandise. There's
Oh,
a comic out too.
that's so, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
There's a site called Relics by Wild that sells official Strategy of the Avatar merchandise, which is canvas art prints, the comic, mugs, T-shirts, and challenge coins.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's really cool to have coins that are designed to look like the coins in game.
That is actually really damn cool.
Garriott was also the one who pioneered the concept of collector's editions, except that the collector's edition was something that was in every box, which was just something special to go with the game, like a cloth map or an amulet. In Wing Commander, they also they had schematics to the fighters that the player was in, and the game manuals were written like they were newsletters on board the ships.
Very cool.
Yeah, Origins. They were they knew how to they knew what the fans liked. Only problem is that modern day game developers has turned what was supposed to be in every box into something that is well over $100.
Okay, now here's a really bad take. Apparently, CBR says that Young Justice is better than than Batman the Animated Series.
Debatable. I'd have to say that Young Justice wouldn't be as good as it is the without Batman the Animated Series blazing a trail like it did.
Probably not. Like people are still kind of imitating Batman the Animated Series to this day. If we're being honest, that that had such a profound effect on the popular image of Batman.
Oh yes.
Yeah. In fact, it's even had such a massive effect on like how some of the villains were perceived too, like from Joker, and like it's even has the definitive version of Mr. Freeze, if we're being honest.
There's a lot. It created the definitive versions of just about all the characters. I think when you looked at the characters, you weren't looking at the animated version of them, but at the actual characters.
guess so, but yeah, it's just like. But yeah, that's just like I said, that is. It's had such a profound effect on DC that they're still kind of drawn from that well to this day.
Yeah, Harley Quinn is one of them.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, I mean, but saying Young Justice is better.
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to prove that to me, man.
Yep. Yeah, well, gonna be pretty interesting, I think, the next few years.
Oh yeah, because we got a lot. We've just got a lot coming down the well this year. And this is gonna be a very productive month for us.
Oh yeah, and
And it just kind of sucks that we can't talk about most of it, at least not on air.
nope.
Eh.
Although what I can say is that for people to expect some beautiful artwork,
Oh, that's always good.
yeah, a Kickstarter that's going to do very well for us. And if not, we can always. Oh boy.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah, Tank is gonna keep flooding the Slack with hot goss, so might be a good place to call it good here.
yeah, and it's in about 2 hours, so we've got our usual.
Yep. All right.
So bye guys.
See you next week.
Yep.